There's a new Marvel game on the market, and it looks pretty good. But after the rather rough release of the Avengers game last year, a lot of people are hesitant to get their hopes up again. I know, I'm one. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim, and today we're here to look at Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, created by Eidos Montreal. It's a third-person action game, for sure, but I'd say it falls more into the shooter genre than the brawler one. Don't worry, we'll get more into that later on. Now, let's start off by addressing the space llama in the room straight away. This game's not great. It's solid. It's even kind of fun. In parts. But overall, it's exactly what you would expect from a AAA experience these days. You spend a lot of the story being led through some very beautiful environments. And then an action sequence will happen, and you'll have to run or fly or dodge your way out of whatever danger just happened. And then the combat section will begin. Rinse and repeat for the next 16 chapters. You do visit some pretty incredible places along the way, but for the most part, you're being led from one area to the next, one cutscene after the other until something to shoot pops out. And God help you if you step out of line. These guys will not just shut up and let me look around for a second. Seriously, the instant you move out of the designated area, they go insane. But hey, at least Rocket has that adorable little goatee. How can I stay mad at that little guy? The story starts off like most Guardians adventures do. They get hired by some mysterious contact to go in some illegal or dangerous place and steal stuff. The job goes sideways, they all get arrested, and inevitably become the only ones able to clean up the universe-ending mess they started in the first place. There are choices to be made along the way, but most of them are snap decisions reserved for world building and getting to know your team a little better. Only a few actually impact the story or upcoming missions in any real way, and those let you take your time to languish over what path to take, so you really can't miss them. And let me help you out a little. There are a few fun false endings here and there, but most paths lead to the same place. So there's no need to torture yourself over every little choice, okay? The good news is they did get one thing right. Peter Quill is the most useless member of his own damn team. The bad news is that you play as Peter Quill. The whole time. The combat sections let you fly around with jet boots and shoot things with his quad blasters. The enemies are pretty varied, and the game tries to keep things interesting by using a stagger system, like the recent Final Fantasy VII remake, to make enemies more vulnerable. You can call your teammates for help using their special abilities. Groot can tangle things up or knock enemies around, Rocket blows stuff up, and Drax and Gamora deal heavy damage whenever you need it. And when you're getting your butt kicked, you can rally everybody with a rousing speech and use everyone's abilities with no recharge. But there's a viscerality that's missing from this kind of gameplay, and it feels like it comes from the ranged nature of the combat. You fly around with your little jet boots pew-pewing all the time, but I myself never felt very effective against anything other than the little ball enemies that you can kick around, especially early on in the game. For everything else, I just wait until a cooldown was ready and press 2 buttons to release the Gamora or whatever, and the game would just do the rest from there. You're always disconnected by distance from the action at hand, and it would have been really fun to swap between characters Final Fantasy 15 style, to battle all these different enemies myself, and to see what it felt like to fight as an 8-foot-tall tree man. So I think that's a huge missed opportunity there. Speaking of missed opportunities, I'd have one of my own if I didn't mention the soundtrack. There are a ton of 80s jams in here, and of course, they're all great and used at key moments throughout the game. But don't make the same mistake I did. I bought the special edition, which included the soundtrack, specifically for this review, thinking I would be able to have all the songs in one place. And it only comes with the songs that were made by the in-game Star-Lord band, and a couple of background tracks to listen to. So bear that in mind if you end up picking up a copy for yourself. I do want to give a special shout out to the huge variety of accessibility options they give you. You can custom tune just about everything from the UI to licensed music to difficulty just the way you like it. Even changing things around as you pick one of the defaults. And these days, that's just really nice to see, you know? Be sure to pay special attention to your speaker settings though. If they're set to the wrong position, you could miss fun little pieces of dialogue as you swing the camera around. With all that being said, I kinda grew attached to Chad Lord and his band of misfits by the end. There are some genuinely fun moments littered throughout the 20 some odd hours it takes to beat. But somewhere along the way, I realized that the big problem I have with this game isn't in the game. It's me. The game is technically proficient in every way. It's a safe, straight down the middle, by the numbers game. And I can't say I hate looking at it. I mean, seriously, it's gorgeous. But I think it just comes down to the fact that I've played too many games exactly like this. And recently too. The endless cycle of bait, switch, and combat. The bare bones upgrades. The constant tutorializing. The myriad of collectibles and journal entries all leading nowhere. I just can't do it anymore. You can name off a dozen systems from 36 games that all do the same thing, if not better. Which makes the flaws in this game stand out that much more when you can directly compare it to this game or that one and see where Guardians just doesn't measure up. Not to mention the glitches, the camera problems, the pop-ins, and everything else that is still present in the game a couple of months after launch. It's just so frustratingly mediocre. And that kind of experience isn't worth $60 to me anymore. I mean, if you're really into the property or like a lot of fluff in your gaming marshmallow, there's a lot to enjoy here. The story is definitely the strongest part of this game. It has the time that comics and movies often lack to really let you get attached to the characters along the way. It's everything else that I get bummed out about. So to me, this feels more like one of those games I used to rent for the weekend, beat right away, and be really glad I didn't ask my mom to pay full price for it. Thank you so much for checking out this review. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below. And be sure to hit that subscribe button to catch new videos as soon as they come out. Every interaction helps keep this channel afloat and the YouTube algorithm monster at bay. Follow me on social media if you would like, and if you want to see more videos, then check out this piece we did on Ziggurat 2. Or, if RPGs are more your style, how about this one we did on Neo The World Ends With You? Thanks again, take care of yourselves out there, and we'll see you back here again real soon. Bye!